Hey guys, it's me, Miss Mills, and welcome to Mrs. Mills' Math Time. The whole point of this video is to help you out with IXL Y.9, and all that IXL Y.9 is that it is basically just, we're going to, let me check something real quick. Yeah, I felt like that was going to happen. Let me sign up for this real quick. While I'm doing that, I'll talk to you. All right, so what the IXL is they're going to give you a graph and you have to create an equation based off of that graph. That equation that they want you to create is called the slope-intercept form. And what the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Something that you've probably seen like 100 times since we started talking about slope-intercept form like 4 weeks ago. M is going to be slope and plus b is going to be your y-intercept. So when you have a graph, that's all you have to find. You have to find two things. You have to find the slope and you have to find the y-intercept. Once you find those things, you can plug in those numbers into the slope formula and you're done. So let's talk about that some real quick. I did want to share another thing real quick. A few weeks ago, I asked y'all in one of my videos if y'all would prefer to have notes on a Google form or a Google slide. It was an overwhelming Google slide. A bunch of y'all messaged me back and said that y'all would prefer that. So from now on, I will be doing notes via Google Slides because apparently they are easier to get a hold of and fun stuff like that. So what I do ask y'all to do though is even though they're on the notes and they're easier to get to, I still want you to write down all the stuff on the notes because it's easier to remember and it's better for you on the test if you have all of your notes in a very small area on a piece of paper or something. And then you can add your own glitz and glam to the notes to make it easier for you to understand. Just putting that out there, I highly recommend you still writing down the notes. Second thing is a long time ago, I sent out a student poll and I asked, how can I make these videos better? Well, a lot of y'all were very nice and a lot of y'all gave me constructive criticism, and I've been trying to implement those criticism into my videos to make them better. But one of them I wasn't able to do until recently. The microphone that I had was not very good. It took my voice, and sometimes my voice would fade out and come back. So I finally got a brand new microphone. It works really well, and I hope that it helps y'all hear me more clearly. And if y'all have any other comments or notes on how to make my videos better, just tell me and I'll see what I can do. All right, let's get started. So there's two ways you can get to this IXL. You can either come to my to-do list, which is going to be under week 15 in your Google Classroom. To-do list will be the first link there. You can click on that and you'll see it's your Friday assignment, so you can go ahead and click that. Or under week 15, there will be another link that literally just says IXL Y.9. You can click that as well. The goal is to get this to 80%. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to hide this real quick and we will do this. So again, the two things you want to find on this graph is you want to find the slope and the y-intercept. So the first thing we're going to find is the slope, and there's a couple ways you can do that. One way is that you choose, I want to make it purple. Yeah, you choose 2 points. Here's a good point. And here's a point. Honestly, all of these are pretty good points. You choose 2 points and you can find the points, which is this one right here is 200 and 300. This is really hard to draw on. And then the second one we have right here is going to be 100, negative 400. Sorry. Let me make sure I have this negative 300 right there. You put those into the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and solve and you'll get the slope. Another way you can get the slope, that's the way I'm going to be. Why isn't that not working? All right, another way to find the slope is to pick those 2 points, and slope is rise over run, so our numerator is going to be how much we rose and our denominator is going to be how much we ran. Our numerator here is from negative 400 to negative 300, so that's going to be we rose 100, and then we ran from 100 to 200, from up here 100 to 200, 100. We can reduce that And our answer is going to be 1. Our slope is 1. So I can go back to here, and m is slope, so I can go ahead and put that into the formula. Y equals 1x. And now I have to find b. So, which is the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is where this line right here crosses the y-axis. The y-axis is this vertical line right here. So the y-intercept is where this line crosses this line. So if I follow the line crosses right here. That is going to be negative 500 because it's between negative 400 and negative 600. So it's going to be negative 500. So I can go back here and I will write down negative 500 for my y-intercept. I can simplify this to y equals x minus 500 as well, and that's going to be my answer. So I can go in here and I'm going to click my mouse. I hope that goes away. Like, this is really annoying. Oh, now it erases. Fabulous. I'm glad it worked because I didn't want to do this video over. Those are still not erasing. Let's see what happens. So we have y equals x minus 500. Hit submit. Oh, some of it went away. Let me see if I can get the rest of it to go away. Awesome. No technical difficulties here. All right. So that was the correct answer. So let's do that again. Again, we need to find two things, the slope, and then we need to find the y-intercept, and then we can just put it into the slope-intercept form. So let's find the slope first. So again, to find the slope, we're going to pick 2 points. The first point I'm going to pick is right here. The second one I'm going to pick is right here. Again, we go up 100, so our numerator is 100, and we're going to run 100. So we have, again, 100 over 100. Get rid of those zeros, and that will reduce to 1. Okay, cool. The slope, again, is 1. So I'll go ahead and put this in here. Y equals 1x. Now we got to find the y-intercept. So again, the y-intercept is where our line crosses the y-axis, and this is the y-axis. So if I'm following the line, it crosses the y-axis at negative 400. So that's going to be our y-intercept. So we go back here, and I will put negative 400 where the plus b is, and I can simplify this to y equals x minus 400. And that is going to be our answer. So I'll go ahead and put this into our answer box. Y equals x minus 400. Let's keep going. So I'm going to erase these again. Yeah, and it works. Okay. All right, same thing. This time they're just giving us one quadrant, but it's the same thing. We just pick 2 points and we are going to put it into the slope formula, which is slope-intercept form. My bad. This is slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Remember, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so first we're going to find the slope. Here's my first point, and here's my second point. I hope this doesn't keep happening because we're going to rise 10 points, and then we're going to run 10 points. Again, that can be reduced to 1. So again, our slope is 1. And then we have to find the y-intercept, and that's where the where the line crosses the y-intercept or the y-axis. Here's our y-axis, and it crosses at 60, at positive 60. So with that information, I can put that into the formula. Our slope was 1. It crossed the y-axis at positive 60, so that's going to be our answer. And guys, you can also put in 1x plus 60 into your answer box, and it'll take it as well. So y equals 1x plus 60. And let's keep going. So I'm going to erase this, and I'm hoping this time we have a different slope other than 1, because that's getting annoying. All right. And my prayers have been answered. So again, we need to find 2 things, the slope and the y-intercept. So let's find the slope first. Pick 2 points. My first point is going to be, I'm following the line. I'm going to put it here. Keep following the line. My next point's here. The numerator is going to be how much I rose. And I rose 1, 2 points. So my numerator is 2. And then I ran 1 point. So my denominator is 1. That can be reduced to 2. So my slope's 2. So I can go back here and I can put into this form y equals 2x. Now I need to find the y-intercept. So if I'm looking at the line, it looks like it crosses the y-intercept at 0. So if that's the case, that means I just have to put plus 0 here. But putting plus 0 is not necessary. This is a proportional graph, and if you remember from our notes a couple weeks ago, a proportional equation looks like y equals mx. And that's because the line crosses the y-axis at 0. And if it crosses at 0, you can put plus 0 here, but you don't have to put that. It's not necessary. So this is going to be our equation. It's just y equals 2x. So I'll go ahead and put that in. Y equals 2x. All right. And I'm going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to leave y'all to your devices. Let's do a couple more. So again, we got to find two things. The slope formula we have to find two things and put it in the slope formula. First thing we need to find is the slope, and then the second thing we need to find is the y-intercept, and then we can plug them in. So let's find the slope real quick. We're going to pick 2 points. We're going to rise 1 time to get to that next point. That's going to be our numerator. And then we're going to run 1 point, and that's going to be our denominator. 1 over 1 is the same as just 1, so our slope's going to be 1. So I'll go ahead and put that in the formula. Now I need to find the y-intercept. And guys, this one's going to be a little bit harder, but if you follow the line, the y does cross at negative 100. I mean, I know it doesn't look like it, but it does. It does cross right here. So our y-intercept is negative 100. That's where it crosses the y-axis. And I can go ahead and put it into the slope formula, and I just did that. My slope is 1, so I'll put it right here, and my y-intercept is negative 100. Now I can put it into the text box. Y equals 1x minus 100. All right, cool. Now we have a negative slope. This is what I've been waiting for this whole time. So I don't want y'all to freak out with negative slopes. It's not, all it is that instead of rising, you're going to actually be falling whenever you're looking for your slope. And let me show you what I mean. We're going to pick 2 points again. Here's my first point right here. That's a good point. And I'm going to follow the line down to right here. Because again, you read graphs from left to right. So we're going to read it down. So I picked this point and then this point. So I want to figure out how it went from my left point to my right point. And this time I rose negative 1 times and negative 2 times. So negative 2 is my numerator. And then I ran, and running when you're doing a graph is always going to be positive because you always read a graph from left to right. So you will always move from left to right. Therefore, it is always going to be positive because if you read a number line like this, reading from left to right will always increase. Negative 20 is smaller than 20. 60 is smaller than 80. So when you read from left to right, it always increases. Therefore, whenever you find the denominator of the slope on a line, you always read from left to right, even if it's positive or negative. That means that it's always going to be a positive denominator on a graph. Again, I did move only 1 time, so I'm going to I actually moved down negative 20 times, sorry. And then I moved 10 times. Again, I can reduce that to negative 2 over 1, which will give me a slope of negative 2. So I can go back to here. My slope was negative 2, so I'll put that into the equation. And then you always put x. X is always going to be in there. Now we got to find the y-intercept. So where does this line cross the y-axis? Well, if we follow the line, it crosses the y-axis right here, which is at 0. That means our y-intercept is plus 0. But again, if you remember what I talked to you about, you don't have to put plus 0. So we can mark that out. This is going to be a proportional graph, and it's going to be y equals, that looks like a 4, y equals negative 2x. And I'll go ahead and put that into here. Y equals negative 2x. All right. Guys, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. I miss y'all very much, and I really do hope that this, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I really do hope that this helped out. I hope the microphone helped out with you being able to hear me more clearly, and I hope y'all have a wonderful Christmas break. Bye, guys.